Yasin, we can hear a lot of noise coming from the Brighton area of the tunnel. What does it mean to win a game like that?
No, it means a lot. We're working so hard for winning games, and today we stuck deep like you saw. And no, it's unbelievable feeling to work with this group. And yeah, I'm so happy that we have this place that we have and the manager.
There was a nervy wait to find out whether you'd won it, whether Jack's goal would count. Tell us about your emotions in that moment.
No, like you say, it was nervous. I thought it was a goal, but then they said offside. Then you need to wait for a long time because we need to check it. But no, when they said it was a goal, it was an unbelievable feeling. I think we stuck deep, like I said before, and yeah, I think we deserve this one.
Talking of unbelievable feelings, how was your goal?
That was a good one. Like I always say in the interview, I'm always working hard in the training ground and trying to improve every day. And when I get the chance to play, I always try to do my best. And today I scored a goal, and it was a good one as well.
You only score good goals, don't you? It was very different to the one against West Ham, but yeah, I mean, this is becoming a habit.
I thought this one was more difficult than the other one, to be honest. But no, it's like I said in other interviews before I scored my first goal as well. I know how to score goals. I have the eye for scoring goal. I just need to get in the position, and yeah, now I got two, and hopefully get more and so on. Yeah.
There were wonderful performances all over the pitch, but the man who delivered the ball for you, Brian, he had a terrific game today, I thought. We're seeing glimpses of what he's got. How excited should Brighton fans be for the future of him?
No, that's my brother. That's my brother. He's always working hard, always believing in himself. Like you said, when he goes out there, he's showing everyone why he should play. He haven't got that much playing time recent, but no, he's unbelievable player and an even greater person. So it's great to play with him.
And tell us about the overall situation. 8th place is now yours for the taking. We don't know what that means regarding Europe for a while, but what does that mean to you to go into the final weekend with this cushion?
No, I don't think so much about what the other results give us or what does make. We come here to win games, and we go to Tottenham next game and try to win that, and then we see how far it goes.
Well, very best of luck with that one.
So much. Thank you.
Thanks, Yasin. Well played.
And well done, Brighton. 25 shots they had in that game. That's the most Liverpool have faced in the Premier League for 14 years. But they were 2-1 up, and Diddy alluded to it. It's a collector's item, really, from Mo Salah to make it 3-1, and who knows what the outcome would have been if this had gone in on his 400th Liverpool appearance.
Yeah, absolutely. Massive chance. Great play from Liverpool down that left-hand side. Mo Salah gets ahead of his man. Listen, what he should do and what he does are two different things.
Go on, then.
Well, he should let it run across his body onto his right foot, is the textbook finish. You open the goal up far more. If you take it early, you've got less of a... and the ball is always spinning away. You let it come across your body, it opens up the angle much more. It's an easier finish. However, that's what the textbook says. If I was in the same situation, the ball coming from the opposite side, I would do exactly the same. I'd go with my strong foot, with my right foot, harder finish, but it's my better foot. I'd time it better. So I would think to myself, I'd have a better chance of scoring. So there's one thing, me saying, oh yeah, this is what the textbook says, but I'd have done the same. Big miss, though. He should be scoring that, of course.
And you could see his reaction, did he? These goal scorers, it'll be going... particularly if they've lost the game, even though it doesn't matter in terms of anything.
Yeah, no, this is what he works for. This is why he sits probably in an ice bath now for 10 minutes. I think he's got to hit it with his right foot, because when you look where he hits it, he can only knock it past the... He can only knock it past the post, because I think the ball is too far ahead of him, and his standing foot is too close. So I think the way he touched it or the way he hit it, I don't think he can score. And he just needs to cushion it. He don't have to do anything, because there's enough pace on the ball. He just have to make contact with the other foot. Ball is in the back of the net, and I know what Mike is saying, but I still think he's got to do better there. And I'm not sure on another day he would have used his other foot, because, as I said, with his left, it was very hard to score from there.
And 15 minutes later, it was suddenly 2-2. Mitoma had been on the pitch less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a typical Brighton goal, isn't it? From the goalkeeper playing it out. Liverpool will be disappointed the way they've literally just sliced through one pass, and you've got Baliba then playing a ball from 30 metres out of their box. Lots that Liverpool can do better. Great goal from Brighton's point of view, playing the way right the way through the pitch. Konate's position here, I mean, Welbeck is literally running to him. Now, just stay with Welbeck. Why? I don't know why he leaves him and just goes and does the same job as Conor Bradley. So very strange. However, let's give credit to Brighton. What a finish this is. We spoke about, you know, what is perceived to be an easy finish from Mo Salah. People look at that and think, oh yeah, that's reasonably easy, or he might have even mishit it. No way. He has absolutely got his foot above the ball, hits down on it, right into the middle of the ball. He has hit it exactly to the blade of grass where he wants to. Perfectly struck into the ground. That is a really hard finish. The technique is incredible. The ball bouncing up here, almost chest high, outside of your body line, and to keep it down and fall away from it and hit it into the ground, that is difficulty level is right at the top. Brilliant finish, made to look easy.
So that was one substitute, and then Jack Hinchelwood, just his second touch. Thought, first of all, he hadn't scored when it was ruled out. Now, we see a lot of goals ruled out because of VAR, did he? This one was ruled in. The referee's assistant was over.
Well, if he rules some out, we got to rule some in. It's a brilliant ball from O'Reilly across the face of the goal. And this is just a brilliant finish. He lets the ball do the work. There's plenty of pace on it. He just cushions with his right foot.
Well, what about the comparison to Mo Salah's finish here? He does let it come across his body and goes with his right foot.
Well, I don't think he had the option because it was even further ahead of him. Yeah. So I don't think he could have used his left even if he wanted to. But just like the pace of the ball do the work, just cushions it. It bounces slightly in front, so it was probably a little bit harder than it looked. But it's just an excellent finish here.
Yeah, makes it look easy.
There. But it's a brilliant ball. Obviously, half the goal goes to O'Reilly for the cross, and the story comes on, does a bit of DJing. and scores the winner 45 seconds after coming on with his second touch. But as I said, they've been brilliant, and it's just brilliant to see because we've been young. I've been younger a little bit earlier than Mike. I've come through the system. I made my first step in Munich coming on. I was 20 at the time, but it is nothing better than seeing young kids coming on, express themselves, having the freedom. They've got some experienced players. They come on and they do what they do best. And, you know, it's not easy to play at the biggest stage, but obviously the manager takes pressure of them. Welbeck takes pressure of them. And it's just a function inside, and it's nothing better when they go in, they do what they do best. They play with a freedom, which is not an easy thing to do. Just brilliant to see what they do at Brighton.
Absolutely. OK, and they have beaten the Premier League champions in the process. Here is the Liverpool manager, Arne.
Arne, an incredible game of football to watch from the sidelines. A game that you appeared to be in control of at one point. Ultimately, though, was it wrestled from your grasp?
Yeah, I think you say this correctly. It was an equal game, but the moment we were 2-1 up in the second half, I felt as if us scoring the third one was more realistic than them scoring the 2-2. But from the moment onwards when they scored the 2-2, I think momentum swung their way. And then they scored the third goal, so which was also a close margin. These games are close margins because two very good teams on the pitch. And unfortunately, we didn't score the third when we had chances to. And after the 2-2, they did score the third goal.
You said before the game tonight you made changes because you wanted to look at people that hadn't had a lot of football time for you, look towards the future. Despite the result, did those people take opportunities tonight to show you they have something to offer for the future?
No, I know these players already for 10 months, so it's not the first time I'm judging them. But it's nice to see that Harvey scored a goal. He had an assist, not the most difficult one, but he had an assist. Great goal by Dominik Szoboszlai. And Federico had a few good moments as well, especially if you take into account how long he's not been playing. So unfortunately, he was one of the players that had the chance to make the 1-3 when Mo squared the ball towards him. And so yeah, in general, I think it was a good game from both sides. Two very strong teams, wanting to play football. That's also what you not always see. These both teams wanting to play football, no time wasting, no time delaying, just play football. And as a result of that, we saw a great game, I think.
We certainly did. But as we mentioned beforehand, when you're champions with 4 games to go, and I think they virtually admitted it actually when Michael and I were there doing the show at Anfield that day, the next 3 they just wanted out of the way, and now they're out. There's going to be some party when they get the trophy and medals.
Yeah, well, it's details, it's little margins which decide games. And if you haven't got the last 2-3% of urgency, which they hadn't had for the last 2-3 games because they're already champions, then you lose these games. And if they needed to win that game, maybe we would have seen a different outcome. But credit to Brighton, they had to do it. They did do it. They were behind at half-time, turned the game around. But yeah, as Mike said before, probably a good time for Brighton to play Liverpool.
Isn't it incredible, though, when you look at the Premier League in general, and we talk about 1 or 2%, if you're just 1 or 2% off, then that happens. It is so competitive. We've seen Manchester City almost fall off a cliff this season in terms of their performance. Just, they've been absolutely at the pinnacle of their game for so long, and then they just drop a little bit short, and teams take advantage so much. Liverpool's chance today, or Liverpool's turn today, I should say, but it just shows you just got to be so on it every single week, and that's why winning the league is so hard. It's a war of attrition in many ways, and now they've won it, they can relax a little bit, just drop off a percentage or 2, and you'd think there'd be enough to coast home, and they only pick up 1 point out of the last 9 or something like that. I mean, it just shows you that everybody is right at it every single week.
You can't take anything for granted. And that makes the achievement even bigger, because we know how hard it is to win a game 2-3 on the spin, to win the league by more than 10 points, when people expected them to finish in the top 4, maybe challenge for top 3. It makes it even more remarkable what they've done this season.
Yeah, that's still just 3 defeats in 33 Premier League games for Liverpool. Now, these 2 gentlemen were debating at half-time when Dominik Szoboszlai gave Liverpool the lead just before the break, whether he intended this or not. You were undecided. Did he was adamant that was a cross?
Did he thought it was a cross? I said, gun to my head, I'd say it's a cross, but I wasn't 100% sure. But well done to Szoboszlai for coming out and being honest about it, saying it was a cross. I wonder how many people that were watching the telly were screaming at the telly saying, no way, you two don't know what you're on about. It's definitely a shot. But yeah, I was undecided, and I think credit to him.
Yeah, I think he tried it to whip it in the inside of his foot, and the ball just didn't take the spin. And this is why it went straight, and obviously he probably couldn't have placed it any better, even though the keeper probably should have done better.
OK, very quickly, here is the man himself, Dominik Szoboszlai.
There were lots of wonderful moments in the game. What about your goal? You looked a bit sheepish in the celebrations, so there's been a debate whether you meant it or not. Talk us through it.
No, it was a cross, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, but happy to score and help the team.
There you go. 1-0 Hamann over Owen.
No.
We wouldn't have shown it, would we, if he said it was a shot?
Well, we don't know. But you were right.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He's honest.
Let's finish talking about Brighton. We touched on the 32-year-old manager coming into the Premier League. Barring a disaster, they're going to have a top 8 finish. And when you look at the clubs above them, is that about par for where you expected?
I think so. I think where they expect to see themselves, they're not just happy being a Premier League club anymore. They're looking at bigger and better things. They're probably looking at the likes of Nottingham Forest, flying high, and they may think, do you know what, we could even do that next season. They've built a great foundation now to go on and really push. They're getting some incredible players. The recruitment is there for all to see. We've spoken about it so many times, but they've got some real talented players. There was a time as well where they probably had to sell a few of their top players as well to balance the books. We've seen that. They've got some great assets themselves now. But no, this is a team that I think are looking up rather than looking over their shoulder from now on.
Let's get a quick word then with the winning manager. Here he is, Fabian Hürzeler.
We've had some great moments in this season, your first season in England, but is that right at the top of the list tonight?
Well, there were a lot of highs and then also lows during the season, so I think it's important that you don't overreact or don't get too euphoric after these moments. It's very important to stay grounded, to stay humble, to keep focus on the work we have to do, because there's still one game to go. But I'm really proud of the performance from the team, how they stick together, how they showed the belief, how they reacted on the setbacks during the game. So overall, it was not a perfect performance from us, but we always showed great character, and I think that's very important, especially for this young group.
But it's hard to stay grounded, isn't it, when you've just beaten the Premier League champions, and in the way that you did it, having to come from behind twice?
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's not only about playing a football game and tactical side, it's also the mental side, and therefore we stayed always together. We showed character, we showed personality. We had a really young squad on the pitch, and they reacted quite well on the setbacks in an impressive way, and that's what we always try to emphasize, that we only can be successful as a team. We can only be successful if we stick together, and they proved it today. So we are very happy, but like I said, there's still one game to go.
Still 32 years of age. Well, we've seen a German win the Premier League. We've now got a German managing our national team. And there's another one at the other end of the age scale in his very first season here, in the top 8 at the moment, did he?
Yeah, no, incredible. We've got, what, 58 points now? You said it before, they only finished in the top 10 2 or 3 times?
Twice in their history.
Twice in the history. Yeah, fantastic talent, and they're just brilliant to watch. Having said that, next season, I think from the teams above them, there's probably only Forest where you say maybe they can overtake them. I don't think they can overtake any of the other 6 teams. Are they going to finish ahead of Spurs and United again next season? West Ham, they'll come back or good or better at some stage. So I think the danger with a finish in 8th, 58 or maybe 59, 61 points at the end of the season is always that expectations next year will be, well, he's been here a year, he's done well, will be even better next season. And if I look at the team, if I look at some of the teams behind them, I'm not sure they'll leave him behind next season. So, I think it's a team between 9 and 12. But obviously the development of the players has always been one of the major things in Brighton. And obviously he does it again. He's still a young manager. He likes to work with young players. And the one I'm looking forward is not because he's German, but it's Gruder, because he's really showed tonight in 60, 65 minutes what he's capable of. He's a special talent. Unfortunately, so far, we haven't really seen it. Hopefully, we see it next season.
Indeed. And at the moment, they've already got 10 more points than all of last season under Fabian Hürzeler.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't mind betting that they can slightly improve on that. I mean, their manager's young, their team are young, the squad is young. They've got confidence from this season. I know what Didi's saying, it'll be a push. But I think everything's getting closer and closer in the Premier League nowadays. So who knows? They might be able to go one step better next season.